Hello, and in this video, let's talk about conditional formatting in Excel. Conditional formatting is basically asking Excel to change the color, the font, or the whole look of a cell based on a set of conditions and rules that you need. Alright, let's get started. In this example, we're taking a standard budget and we're going to show you the different ways that you can quickly filter information using conditional formatting. We are using Excel and Office 365, but this is available in earlier versions. In this budget, let's say that we want to find the expenses greater than $1,500. Highlight the area quickly by clicking in cell B9, Control-Shift right, and then Control-Shift down. Then go to the Home tab, click on Conditional Formatting towards the right. Highlight Cell Rules, then greater than 1,500, and then you can select the highlight color, which is yellow with dark yellow text, and press OK. To clear the formatting, go to Conditional Formatting again, then Clear Rules from the selection if you only need to clean a small portion of your worksheet or the entire sheet. You can also check less than, equal to, and between two values. For example, let's search expenses between $1,000 and $1,500. This time I am going to format the highlighted cells by going to Custom Format. Leave the same font, but you can change here too. Instead, we're going to the Fill tab. Pick a color and even a gradient fill effect with two colors, shading styles, and now you can press OK 3 times. These two next examples have been very useful for us when cleaning up data. First is a text that contains feature. By just typing marketing in this case, then we can choose the green fill shading and click OK. If you are enjoying this video, feel free to like and subscribe to help us create more free content about technology. And the next feature lets you highlight any duplicate values in your data. First, highlight the cells. This time I will press Ctrl-A to select them all. Go to Conditional Formatting, select Duplicates all the way to the bottom, and let's see what happens. Okay, so insurance is entered twice, but here's the problem. I don't need the duplicate numbers, but only the rows where the categories or text in the first column is entered twice. Let's press Ctrl-Z to undo this step. So now let's use a conditional formatting based on a formula. In other words, if the text of any row is duplicated, I am highlighting only those entire rows. First, Excel needs to count using a COUNTIF function. Let's first test it in a blank column and then we'll turn it into a formatting rule. The COUNTIF has two parameters or questions for me. Where am I counting? And what am I looking for? So let's use a blank column and type equal COUNTIF, open parentheses, and then type A9. We are using the absolute reference or putting dollar signs on the columns and rows because we want to enforce the duplicate count just inside this column that has the text. And the dollar signs will keep things steady. Then enter column and E20 with no dollars because we want this rule to affect the entire group of rows and not just the one column. Then we need a criteria or what's the condition by typing comma, then dollar sign, A9. Notice that there is no dollar sign on the 9 because when we drag down this formula, we need this formula to change in all of the rows and not stay as a fixed value in A9. Close parentheses and press enter. Now let's add that we only want to highlight values that show up more than once in the rows by typing greater than 1. So the final formula should look like equal COUNTIF, parentheses, dollar sign, A, dollar sign 9, colon, E20, comma, dollar sign, A9, close parentheses, greater than 1. You can test it out first by inserting a test column, type the first formula, and autofill the rest of the rows so it looks like this. We highlighted in green the true values so you can see better that the formula works and is catching the insurance duplicates. To finish the formatting by formula section, first copy the formula in this cell, highlight the whole budget expense section, and then go to conditional formatting. Go to New Rule, use a formula option, then paste the formula we just copied this box. Now go to Format. In the Fill tab, pick any color you want and press OK and OK again. The formula works, and we see in green only the rows that we need to delete. You can delete your test column by right-clicking on the header and press Delete. You can also go to the Manage Rules area to create a new rule, change, delete, and duplicate an existing one. And you can select the priority level of each rule by clicking on the arrows on the top. Conditional formatting also has some neat data bars, which are quick ways to show trends. Try also the color scales to quickly see what the highest or lowest data points are, or the icon sets that you probably have seen in financial statements or stock information charts out there. It all depends on what you're trying to show with your data, so make sure it is easy to understand. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for your support and see you in our next video.